A Bitcoin crash is coming. Sell all your Bitcoin now. Hadn't you seen the news? China's banned all the miners. BlackRock says don't buy it. Goldman Sachs says it's not a good store value. Like, crypto is crashing. Sell it all now. It's crashing again. What's up, guys? It's your friendly neighborhood FUD fighter, Michael T. Ragland, coming right back at you again. In this video, we're going to talk about what to do when Bitcoin crashes. If you stay to the end, we're also going to talk about the best ways to prepare yourself for a bear market and how to actually protect your assets during a crypto crash. But before we begin, let me drop this line on you, my friend. I am not a financial advisor, and anything that we talk about in this video is just for entertainment and education purposes only. Hashtag, please don't sue me, bro. And let's just talk about the recent quote-unquote crashes of crypto, if you will. Back at the end of 2018, it almost hit 20K, crashed all the way back down to around 5 to 7K there. Then we kind of traded sideways for a while to consolidate it. And then we had the 2020 thing when everything we feel like went to crap, and we went back down around that 5K mark. And then we can see that we actually went parabolic, and that's where most of you guys got in when you started to see this run up. And unfortunately, a lot of you guys were so late, you bought all the way at the top here over in probably April or so of 2021. And that's the big mistake that you guys are making, right? You're just FOMOing in to a bunch of this stuff, feeling like you're gonna get in and get rich, and you're hearing all these other fudsers say that, oh, Bitcoin's going to $400,000, Bitcoin's going to $1 million, it's going to the moon, baby, let's get in right now. And you follow the crowd and you FOMO in and wonder why you actually end up losing money. If you look at this chart, man, like, this is a legit roller coaster. Like, you really got to be a true believer in not just Bitcoin, but cryptocurrency and the whole, and its ability to change the world to hold on to this. Like, I know I've sold off so many times on this roller coaster because nobody can predict what's happening. What I have learned throughout that period is just to hold strong, right? Because I know that every time that Bitcoin quote unquote crashes, it comes back and it makes those higher highs, right? Every time. So there's so many catalysts in the market that are going to bring a lot more volume and a lot more attention to Bitcoin, and there's really not a lot of resistance above that 40 to 45K like you guys hear me talk about so much here. And then that's when we're really going to see a run again. But I want you guys to understand why, you know, Bitcoin may be seen to be dropping and things like that, because when you look at like all the FUD coming out from Grayscale, I think I talked about it the other day, but on the 17th of July, you're going to have a ton of actual Bitcoin shares being released from that ETF there, that we don't know what's going to happen. But all those institutional investors, they could sell, they could move them offline to cold wallets, which is a bullish sign. We just don't know. So a lot of people are just speculating that they may sell due to the recent volatility and all the FUD that's coming out, and that may go ahead and drop crypto a little bit. That may happen, who knows? But I'm not tripping because I understand exactly what's happening with that. And then you have fools over at BlackRock going in and saying that, oh yeah, don't buy crypto, like don't buy Bitcoin, it's not a good investment, it's not a viable alternative, etc., etc. But then you look back and you see that thing they did with MicroStrategy, where they actually invested like, I want to say 1.2 or $2 trillion into MicroStrategy, which is a huge Bitcoin play there. And they go and FUD this up just so they can buy more at a discount. Like, if all of us retail investors sell it, institutional money is going to buy it up and gobble it up at a discount. Like, that's all it is going to be market manipulation that they're actually doing. Then you got all the regulation fears coming about. You look at China and what they're doing by banning cryptocurrency, and they're actually doing all this regulation against Huobi, which is their largest trading platform, and then causing them to lose like 60%, you know, of their traders and a ton of their money as well, with the volume, because China's like blocking ads and blocking search results on their search engines for Huobi and Binance and things like that with their regulation. But China's gonna China. I mean, it's a communist place. I mean, my greatest hope in life is that I become popular enough to have to make a apology video for what I just said. We'll see what happens. But that's what it is behind that. Like, I know what's behind all the China FUD. I get it. They're trying to come out with their own CBDC or central bank digital currency. So they're going to do what they do and get everybody out of the way so everybody can go with the digital yuan. That's it. With them, you got stories coming out like the London police confiscating $249 million worth of crypto. Same thing happening in Hong Kong as well. If I went and listed all the whole money laundering schemes that went on with fiat money, I'd be here all freaking night. right? So I'm not worried at all about any of that stuff that comes out and all the stuff said, oh, it's used for illegal things or whatever. I mean, I learned my lesson back in probably 12 or 13 when I knew about crypto, but I was in the military at the time, so I wouldn't invest in it because everybody thought it was Silk Road and for drugs and doing illicit things. And if I would have just kind of bought a little bit under the table because I knew how to get it back then, I was just afraid I didn't want to risk my career, I would have been okay. But now I'm not going to listen to all the FUD and everybody that don't really know what they're talking about, oh, Bitcoin's crashing and that you shouldn't buy anymore and it's going to zero, right? That's just all the people putting out FUD are simply uneducated and uninformed paper hands pansies out there. You see it all the time in the news, reporting it because they know it gets lots of clicks, it gets lots of attention. So they're going to go in and report those stories about trading volume dropping. Like, yes, it is down around 62% around all the major exchanges. That makes sense, right? Because you got a ton of the hash rate moving from China to other countries over. You got all this FUD coming out in the news about all the regulation scares and stuff that people think are coming. So it makes sense that trading volume is halted. It's not a big deal at all when you see those things. Like, you got to just sit back, relax, and take the long play on this. Like, we're investors, we're hodlers, we're not speculators. Don't worry about those dips. Like you see on that chart, Bitcoin's gonna Bitcoin. It's going to do its thing. It's going to go up. It's going to go down. But we always stay around, right? We hold strong throughout that. The only really other news we got to report today is that Cardano successfully had a hard fork over to Alonzo White's testnet. Everything's looking good over there in Cardano land. We're still on track to around a September or so launching of smart contracts, guys. I just wanted to jump in real quick. And the last thing I'll say, and your term for the day is DCA. That stands for dollar cost averaging. That means that every week, every 2 weeks, however much money you have to put aside, just dollar cost average in to whatever your favorite crypto is. We're talking about Bitcoin today. So if you were to dollar cost average in on Bitcoin from 2012 or 13, you'd be sitting pretty now and you have a pretty low cost basis as well. Remember, if you don't try to buy at the top or the bottom, if you just buy a little bit every time you can, you're going to average out that cost basis to be a very affordable amount. And you're going to be sitting pretty no matter what, guys. So thanks for jumping in. I got longer videos coming out later this week. But thanks for joining in, guys. This is your friendly neighborhood FUD fighter, Michael T. Ragland, signing off. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.